Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Wendy's. For those of you unaware, Wendy's is part of a chain of fast food restaurants in America, and this particular one that I've styled from a real life building has such a cool modern design that I couldn't help but make it. And I'm gonna show you how to make the entire restaurant. That includes the outdoor eating area that we have out front. This also includes both aspects of the drive-thru. This is where you would order the food, and this is the window that you drive around and collect it from. I'll also show you how to make the entire inside of the restaurant with an incredibly modern feel. Here we have an eating area on the left and a slightly cooler eating area on the right. This is where you would order your food, and these two rooms right here is where you would get rid of your food. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is Wendy's. Hopefully you enjoy this build, because I spent a lot of time on this and I love it to death. If you enjoy it as well, please give this video a like. I'd really appreciate it. And also suggest what else you'd like to see in the future. And if you do build this thing, subscribe and follow me on Twitter at TSMC360. But that's more than enough talking. Why don't I show you how to actually build this thing? So if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some block of quartz, some black wool, some hardened clay, some cyan hardened clay, some stone slabs, some black stained glass paint, some red hardened clay, some spruce fence, and some spruce wood stairs. Plus, we will need every single other one of those materials that you see in the inventory right now. And later on, we will need so many more. As a matter of fact, these are the materials that you will need just to make the outside of the building alone. So take note of what you have once you've grabbed it all, and once you've figured out where you want to make it. I am strategically making my building right here. You're going to want to kick off the build with a row of 4 block of quartz coming directly up from the ground. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then take that 4th block and go right of it by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Connect that block to the ground and then connect it to the left. Now, behind this row of block of quartz, this left-hand vertical row of block of quartz, you want to place a row of black wool directly behind it. You then want to take that top black wool and extend it upwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then go right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend that 6th block all the way down to the ground. Then return back up to said 6th block and go right of it by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then extend that 3rd block all the way down to the ground. Come all the way back up to that 3rd block and extend it to the right by a further 3. 1, 2, 3. Extend that 3rd block all the way down to the ground. And once you've done that, you now want to place a row of black stained glass paint underneath the top row of black that you have up here. Then do a row of black wool directly underneath the row of black stained glass paint, like this. Now it's time for us to make the entrance. The entrance is situated right here. It's inside this right-hand gap that we have on the right-hand side of our build. We want to leave 2 blocks alone so that we'll actually be able to walk through this, but the rest of this area can be filled in with glass, so just leave a 2x2 square alone. Also, fill in the left window, well, left of the entrance, and also fill in the window formed by the block of quartz. Come back to the entrance and place a layer of stone slabs directly in front of the top of the entrance, spanning from left to right in a row of 4. Then take out your hardened clay and do a row of 4 hardened clay directly to the right of this vertical row of black on the right hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to, as I said, we want to have a row of 4. Preferably not building in front of the row. It'd be much better if we built it next to it, but what can you do? I'm a little bit clumsy. That's what we want to have. That's the front of Wendy's, or for the most part. The next thing we want to do is head all the way over to the left-hand side of our Wendy's, and we want to take this top corner block at the front of our build and we want to extend it backwards by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to connect that 6th block all the way down to the ground, like that. Underneath this row of black wool at the top, we want to do a row of black stained glass pane with a row of black wool underneath it. And then we want to cut this area in half down below by running a row of black wool directly up the center. Then place black stained glass pane in each one of the 2 windows you've now created. What you then want to do is take out your old pal hardened clay and go left of this row of black wool by 3 with your hardened clay. So that is every single black wool, 1, 2, 3. You want to extend each one of those black walls, every single one of them, to the left by 3 with the clay. Then take this last row of clay and extend it towards you by 3. 1, 2, 3, and you want to do the same to the other rows. So there we go, row of 3 coming outwards. Then we want to take this row that we've just formed, this row of 3, and we want to take the bottom block and we want to extend it to the left by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then extend that 3rd block up until it is even height with the row that you've just formed. Connect it at the top. Then come all the way down to the bottom and place a row of cyan hardened clay on top of this row of 2 hardened clay. Place stone slabs coming out of the upper half of the cyan stained clay. Leave a gap of 2 coming upwards, so leave a gap of 2. Then do a row of black wool, followed by a row of hardened clay just above. This is the drive-through window. Now, take the left-hand side of the drive-through window and extend it backwards by 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. It's obvious that you have to do that because, of course, it pops out on that side by 3, so obviously it has to sink back inwards on this side. We then want to take this 3rd row and we want to extend it further back, so coming left towards where the back of the building's going to be, not that way. And we want to extend it left by 3. 1, 2, 3, and of course, it's every single block. We move every single block the same. Now, looking back at what we've just made, we want to take that row of 3 and we want to extend it to the left by 16. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And we want every single one, oh, I know guys, every single one of those blocks to be extended across to form a big wall. I know, not fun to do, but, you know, what can you do? Not fun to do, but what can you do? That should be my channel's motto. It really should be. Perfect. That's the wall. Now that we've built the wall and pretended to be Donald Trump, which is as far as I'm willing to go just by building a very simple wall in Minecraft, we want to look back at what we've just made, and we want to extend that wall towards the front of the build by 5 with the hardened clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course, you move 1 block, you move them all. Once you've done that, you then want to add a row of black wool still coming towards the front. Take the top black wool, extend it to the left by 3. 1, 2, 3. Connect that 3rd block down to the ground. Do a row of black glass underneath the top of the black wool with a layer of black underneath. Do black glass everywhere else inside of the window that you've just formed, preferably not inside the restaurant though. And once you've done that, we now want to do 3 rows of red hardened clay come in once again towards the front. So that'll be 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows. Then connect to the front with 2 rows of hardened clay. That's 1 row and 2 rows. Perfect. Now, once you've done that, we're now going to do some outside landscaping before we take care of anything else. First of all, I'm going to place black wool underneath the windows. The reason for this is because it looks better. I'm also doing it underneath the door and anywhere that we have open glass on the floor, because once again, it looks better to have a block underneath it. Once you've done that for yourself, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to establish the parameters around the restaurant. So that sounds tricky, but here's what we're going to do. we're going to take out our red hardened clay and we're going to come to the right hand side. We're going to extend these 3 rows of red hardened clay out of the right hand side of the restaurant, each by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to do the same with every single other red clay. Well, you don't have to do the center of the red clay, you can just do the outer parts because the shape will still be the same and you will save yourself doing a couple of rows of blocks. So we want to have something which should look a little like that. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the bottom right hand corner of the red stained clay that we placed. So this outer front facing right hand red stained clay, we want to take this block and we want to extend it out in front of the build. And we want to extend it out in front of the build until it overhangs the front of the restaurant by 4 blocks. Let me show you. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Digging into the ground, we have a row of 7. We then want to go all the way over to the left-hand side here. You want to start digging all the way over to the left. And you want to stop when you see that in the ground you will connect to the drive-through windows. So we're now going to dig towards the drive-through. And we're going to replace the empty row that we have in the ground with block of quartz. And soon enough, we will replace every block of grass that you see there with block of quartz. What you can also do is you can add a little bit of spruce fence on top of the block of quartz. So you can add it where you like, but I personally want it to I want an open bit in front of the build, so I'm going to leave a big wide open gap where we have the big black windows. So I'm going to leave from these black windows, I'm going to leave all of that space open. So what you can now do is you can place a couple of tables outside. The tables are very simple. So the tables look like this. We basically have a double table which is made from block of redstone with pistons on top, so that the pistons are basically like 1 block out of the ground like this, so a nice table. And then we have spruce wood stairs either side of that. My first table is positioned in front of the window in line with the glass 1 block away so you can walk around it. The second table is positioned in a similar way, except it is positioned in the same row, except it's in front of the hardened clay that we have on the opposite side of the restaurant. So where you have these 4 rows of hardened clay here, we want the same thing on this opposite side. Now, what you can also do, and this serves no real practical purpose, it's just kind of aesthetic, I'm going to place 2 signs here, just right of the entrance, and I'd write something along the lines of like, opening times, you know, like 5 in the morning until 6 at night. I'd write something in those signs. That's what I would do. I'm not going to in the tutorial because it takes a while. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come all the way to the right hand back of the restaurant. So on this side of the restaurant, at the right hand side towards the back, we are going to have some more block of quartz and we're going to have some jungle leaves. Plus we're going to have, we'll need some more spruce wood fence. Plus we'll need our cobblestone wall, our item frames, our jukebox, and we need a material that we don't have yet, which is paintings. So connect in the ground the back right hand corner of the red stained clay sign, connect that in the ground to the back of the build using kind of an L shape like this. Is this an L or is it a J? I can never remember. Yeah, that's an L, wonderful. On top of that, do a row of jungle leaves. So on top of the quartz, add jungle leaves. On top of this back corner of jungle leaves, place a spruce fence with a block of quartz on top. Left of that quartz by 2, connect that down to the jungle leaves with spruce fence. Add a layer of quartz on top of that. Add a spruce wood fence on top of the left hand and right hand quartz block. Then place paintings, preferably single paintings, inside of the block of quartz. And this is supposed to be an order menu. It is not important that all of the paintings look the same or look different. I like it exactly how that is. Also, you know how you order fast food at restaurants, how you talk into that box? Place a cobblestone wall somewhere close to the order menu. place item frames around it, or on just the right hand and front side, place jukeboxes in there. So that is how you would actually order the food. Perfect. What we'd also do later is we'll fill this area in here with block of quartz. Coming to the back left hand corner of the build, we want to connect the back corner of the build to the corner of the drive-through. We want to place a block of quartz inside the angle that we've just created and jungle leaves on top. Plus, later on, or right now because it's so small, I'm just filling that with some block of quartz, just to kind of smooth off our Wendys. And that is, for the most part, ladies and gentlemen, the entire outside of Wendys. We are missing a couple of things though. We do have a couple of things that you may have noticed. So, let's do it. Take out your red stained clay, your black wool, your block of quartz. These are what we're going to need. Oh, also the cyan stained clay. So, we want to go on top of Wendys, and we want to do a row of black wool that traces around the entire top of Wendys. Now, it doesn't want to transfer onto the red stained clay sign that you have on the right hand side. Your black wool just wants to go on top of basically the normal shape of Wendys. So before we added the red stained clay, it wants to go around that shape. Add a layer of cyan hardened clay around that black wool. So you want to, well, you can cut through the side and you can go straight through. Just add a layer of cyan going all the way around. This adds another colour to our Wendys, it adds an additional layer of depth, and it makes it far more interesting to look at. It really does. Such a small difference makes such a huge difference, if that sentence makes sense. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the Wendys sign. So come to the right hand side and on top of the red stained clay here, add an additional layer of red stained clay on top of that red stained clay, so it is now even with the roof. We now want to add 4 rows of red stained clay on top of what we have. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And, well, we basically want to, like I said, just add 4 more layers on top of this. And once we do have this, we should end up with a shape that should look like that. Now, take each one of those 4 blocks that you just extended up and extend them towards the center of the restaurant. The point that we are looking for is actually going to be right here, and I'll show you how this works. So, right here, where we have this vertical row of black directly to the right of this quartz window, this is how far the red stained clay wants to come. That is the easiest way to explain it. Once you've got that first row kind of figured out, do the same thing to each one of the other rows, however many there are. I was just about to throw out a number that would have been a bit silly because I have no idea how many more of these we have to do. What's that, like 4, 8, 9 maybe? It doesn't matter, so we'd have to do 8 more. What? That's an irrelevant number. Nobody cares about that. We're just going to extend these clays over. So give me a moment whilst I do this. And then the next order of business is going to be a bit boring, but very necessary. So once we've got that taken care of, wonderful, we have a big slab of red stained clay. We now want to, beginning from in front of the bottom left hand corner of the red stained clay sign, we want to count in and we want to find the 5th block going to the right. We want to do, this is the first block, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Above this block, place a block of quartz with 2 additional quartz on top. Take this bottom block of quartz to a bottom right diagonal, an up right diagonal, bottom right diagonal, up right diagonal, go up by 2. That is a W. You can see where that is positioned. That is obviously W for Wendys, or if you flip it upside down and you play that good old Illuminati music, that is also an upside down McDonald's symbol that has been coloured white. You think about that right now. Well, once you've got that taken care of, this is what we're going to do next. And this is incredibly boring. So let me show you. We're going to take out our cyan hardened clay, our block of quartz. We're also going to take out our stone slab. Oh, and you know what? Black wool, because why not? So, this outside area here is going to be filled in with block of quartz. Anywhere inside the restaurant that is outside, within the perimeter of the restaurant, will be coloured block of quartz. The inside of the restaurant, however, I am going to destroy the floor and I'm going to make it stone slabs. Also, very boring, very tedious. The entire roof is going to be made of black wool. Make it another colour if you like. I find this pretty insignificant, whatever colour you make it. I am also going to make the road that goes all the way around my Wendy's. So Wendy's has a drive-thru. My cars are 5 blocks wide. I said 5, I meant 4. My blocks are 4 blocks wide. My cars are 4 blocks wide. There we go, we finally got it. So I want a road that is 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks wide going around the entirety of my Wendy's. So I'm going to be working on the road. I'm going to be filling in 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm also going to be filling in the roof. I'm going to fill in the inside of Wendy's. I'm going to fill in the outside of Wendy's. You guys, I don't know what you guys are doing in terms of road, but I'd suggest something similar to this and simply alter your road to make it fit your personal style of car. If you have a car that you have in mind that you want to build that isn't mine, then feel free. But my cars are 4 blocks thick, and if you want to make one, I shall be sure to leave a tutorial in both the card system and in the description below if you would like to build a car or two to go around your Wendy's. Also, if you wanted to, you could add a car park next to your Wendy's, just in case you were thinking about, what else can I do to the outside? Well, I'm going to complete all of those tasks that I've just laid out for myself, and I'll be back once I have painstakingly done all of those. It will take me a while. Back in a mo. So this is what the outside of your Wendy's should look like once it's been 100% fully completed. As you can see, I've now filled in the drive-thru. I've added all of the quartz that needed adding to the outside areas. I've also filled in the roof with glass, not black wool. The reason being is for this next part of the tutorial, it'd be a bit easier if we had a bit more visibility. And as you might be able to see from the outside, I have also filled in the interior of Wendy's with stone slabs, which puts us in a great position to do the next bit, which is going to be the entire inside of Wendy's. Let's do this. So I realize that you might have to pause this video, do all of that yourself, and once you've done that, hit play and you can continue on with the rest of us. But what we're going to do now is grab a whole host of new materials. I already have them. We're going to begin with block of iron, block of quartz, wooden trapdoors, hardened clay, black wool, red hardened clay, stone slabs, tripwire hooks, and a furnace. We'll need every single one of the materials that you see on the screen, and likely even more, because I'm quite forgetful. So grab all of those, and once again, if you need to, pause again and grab everything that you see. Now, what we're going to do is this. You see here on the left hand side of the inside of Wendy's where we have this wall of the drive-thru. This is the front wall of the drive-thru. We want to take the bottom hardened clay and we want to extend it across Wendy's by 6 with the block of quartz. We want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. Then place a wooden trapdoor going right, then a hardened clay. Extend that hardened clay to the back wall and then build up that hardened clay until it hits the ceiling. This is going to provide a wall between the toilets, the cooking area, and everybody else. Like that. Perfect. Okay, so on this, in this area that we've just formed back here, what we want to do is we want to begin in this very backhand corner of Wendy's, and we want to do a row of 2 hardened clay, red hardened clay, that's 1 and 2, right here in this back corner coming towards the right hand corner there. We then want to place stone slabs on top of those hardened clay with tripwire hooks above them, with another row of red hardened clay in front of those, or on top of those rather, to form kind of like that's where you would get your drinks from. Now, in the ground, we're going to need ourselves some polished andesite, which we don't actually have. I told you that we'd forget a material. And we want to connect that second red hardened clay all the way over to the right-hand wall that we've just constructed. Going right of these stone slabs that we placed, we want to place 2 furnaces with stone slabs on top of them themselves. We then need some flower pots and some brewing stands, and we just want to place like a brewing stand here and maybe a flower pot either side, and that's just basically some cooking apparatus. I'm going to grab some stone brick stairs, and we can throw a couple of stone brick stairs here on the counter, and those just fashion as tills. Perfect. What you can also do, if you like, you can replace the floor around this area with block of iron or quartz or some sort of other material, perhaps even like a black and white tile. That might look good, but it's basically just to separate the kitchen area from everywhere else. It's nice if it has a bit of a different floor because, well, it just looks a bit nicer. It just makes it just varies the restaurant a bit. You may also feel as though you want to add some quartz stairs leading up to the drive-through window so you'd actually be able to look out of it. So, moving out from this area, the kitchen, we're going to place some tables. But first of all, we need to add a layer of block of quartz inside of this front window. So you see this front window on the left, the first thing we ever made was this quartz window. Add a layer of quartz behind it to give it some depth. Also, place a flower pot in the window with a flower in it. It's kinda nice. Then, you want to, for this next part, have the materials block of quartz, spruce wood stairs, pistons, block of redstone, black carpet, cauldrons, stone slabs, and you can also grab yourself some spruce wood planks and some spruce wood slabs too. Okay. So, one row away from the windows that we have on the left-hand side of the build, we want to begin from building from this quartz block, the exact same one that we actually placed the flower pot on, and we want to move towards the back of Wendy's, and we want to do 2 block of quartz, that's 2, leave a gap of 1, 2 block of quartz. Place spruce wood stairs in front of the 2 quartz. Then, in the ground, construct tables using block of redstone and pistons. Then, do a layer of spruce wood stairs behind the tables with a layer of block of quartz behind those. Then, place a cauldron, or 2 cauldrons, behind the tables and place stone slabs on top of them. Those kind of look like bins and, well, need I say more? Use some black carpet as tablecloths for the tables to make them a bit more nicer. I'm not sure if that even grammatically makes sense. So, behind these 2 tables that we constructed, in this front right-hand corner, we're going to have more tables. So, beginning from this very front right-hand corner, the inside, we want to have a row of 3 block of quartz inside this corner. So that's like 1, 2, 3 coming towards the entrance. Do a row of spruce wood stairs in front of that, dig into the ground, and do a layer of tables that is constructed with your block of redstone with your pistons on top. Do spruce wood stairs on the opposite side of the pistons with a layer of block of quartz behind those. Then coming outwards, no, better yet, take out your spruce wood planks and going left towards the inside here of this row of 3 block of quartz, we want to place a spruce wood plank here in this position. We also want a spruce wood plank here, so coming out of the ends of the block of quartz that form the tables, and we want to add, let's say 3 spruce wood planks on top of those. That's 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then, place spruce wood slabs connecting the 2 shapes that you've made, so connect the 2 rows of spruce. Also, connect it to the outer wall as well, like this. You can also, if you like, place a flower. So, grab a poppy again, or whatever your flower of choice is. Mine's poppy. Poppy's my favourite. And grab a flower and a flower pot, throw it there. You might even want to place another one here. That'd also be a good place for some nice lighting, by the way. Okay, so that's the table. And if you like, I wouldn't suggest putting a bin anywhere near there, actually. I was going to say, why don't you place a bin? But I don't think we will. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab some hardened clay. We'll need some black wool. We need a material that we don't have, surprise, surprise, which is going to be the spruce wood fence. I'm also going to grab some cauldrons, some jungle leaves, and I'll also need doors, actually, because I didn't think about that. We'll need doors. We'll need... oak doors are good. Oaks are like my second favourite door. I love them. Also some signs. I don't think I mentioned that. Probably need some signs. Maybe even a little bit of block of quartz as well, because why not? And just in case we need it, some quartz slabs. Okay, so we're going to build the bathrooms. The bathrooms are situated on the back right hand corner here inside this empty space. We want to take the second hardened clay in on the left, and we want to connect it from left to right to form a solid wall. Plus, we also want to cut this area that we have behind it, this rectangular area, in half, like this. So we formed a T-shape with the hardened clay. We want to add layers of clay on top of that T-shape until it eventually reaches the ceiling. So, eventually it will hit the ceiling, or, yeah, there we go, it's hit the ceiling. Then, add clay on top of it, and there you will find that you have 2 rooms. So, these are going to form our 2 restrooms. Men's, women's, Alex's, Steve's, however you want to say it. Okay, once you've got that done, once you've got the walls in place, we want to cut this thing in half. So, place like, coming from the ceiling, place like a row of, let's say 3 black wool coming from the ceiling right in the middle. So 1, 2, 3. Extend that left and right until you hit the respective walls. You see how it connects to the windows? Then, go down from that center black wool block and hit the floor with your spruce fence. Also, if you like, destroy behind the spruce fence and make that black, just to make it a bit more interesting. Now, take the centers of these 2 rooms that we've now created and knock out the 2 center blocks to form doors. Place oak doors in them. Place a block of quartz above those, so destroy them, place a block of quartz, and place a sign in here, so like men's, women's, Alex, Steve's, Adam, Eve, Jeffrey, John, whatever you want to put in there, it's completely up to you. Now I'm going to place some cauldrons with jungle leaves either side of each one of the doors, basically to make it look a bit more interesting, if nothing else. Inside of the bathrooms, they all look the same. So to make these, it's kind of boring actually. I really do hate making these toilets. So to make the toilets, you're going to need some block of iron. You need cauldrons. You also need a material that we don't have. Once again, surprise, surprise. We need buttons and we need some weighted pressure plates. We also need some wooden trapdoors. We're also going to need a bit of water. Also, it'd be nice if we had some tripwire hooks. I could swear that we had some, but I can't seem to find them in the inventory. Maybe I'm just blind. Oh, there they are. Wonderful. Also, some quartz stairs would be nice, and I think that is just about everything. Okay, so on this back wall, place a row of 3 block of iron. In front of this left-hand block of iron, a cauldron. On top of the cauldron, on top of the block of iron, behind the cauldron, place another block of iron. Place a button to the right and a stone pressure plate on top. Fill the cauldron with water, place a wooden trapdoor on top of it, then you have a pretty cool looking toilet, if I do say so myself. Take this right hand block of iron, destroy it because I made an error, and place a cauldron there. Fill it with water if you like, with a tripwire hook above it, not too high, otherwise you can't reach it. Then, on the right hand side, on the wall somewhere, preferably in the middle of the wall, place some quartz stairs. That is a hand dryer, and if you want to have something that kind of assimilates, like, I don't know, like hot air, some webs. Kinda looks like it. Wonderful. There's your bathroom. Do that once. Do it again in the second bathroom. So in the second bathroom, whether you want to have the toilet in the same place or not, I'm going to mirror it, I think. So I'm going to have the toilet in the corner. So start with a row of block of iron. Place a cauldron in front of one of them. Fill the cauldron with water. Place a block of iron on top of the block of iron behind the cauldron. Place a button on the side, stone pressure plate on top, wooden trapdoor in front. Destroy one of the blocks of irons because I'm a bit silly. Place a cauldron there, water bucket in it, tripwire hook above it. Place a nice little quartz stairs on the wall, maybe with even a little bit of web coming down, and there you have a nice little bathroom. And that, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, if you like, that, you know, not 100% necessary. If you like, you can just alter the texture of the bathroom, or at least the floor at least. It's kind of up to you. It's a very small thing. I mean, how many people are actually checking out these toilets, really? I mean, I can't even remember the last time that I went into like a fast food restaurant's bathroom. I have a bit more sense than that, and well, I don't want to. The last time I went into a McDonald's toilet, I found an unidentifiable object on the ground, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. But that is what you want to have for the inside of your Wendys. Now, the lighting for your Wendys is completely up to you, but the lighting that I like is actually artificial lights for restaurants. So that involves sea lanterns and quartz slabs. You basically just got to figure out how much lighting you want, like how much is too much. So this is completely individual, this is completely up to you, but would you like an entire strip of sea lanterns running from one end of the ceiling to the other? Would you then like to say, like, leave a couple of gaps between that row of sea lanterns and then place another row of sea lanterns here? Would you like to do that? Just, like, light it up as much as you want. What I would suggest, the only thing that I would suggest to you in this case is use sea lanterns and use quartz slabs. Now, I'll show you how to use them in a second. I'm just placing a little bit here above the kitchen area, kind of incorrectly, because I don't actually want to place the light there. I want it to be here instead. So, right about here, and I'll destroy those. Okay, so place some sea lanterns in the roof, make it look nice. Then place quartz slabs everywhere else. So, quartz slabs absolutely everywhere else, and that will form the ceiling. Now, not only will it make the sea lanterns look a bit more impressive, because they will only be like half showing, and it'll make it look very, very deliberate, and it'll make it look quite nice, but it also looks very nice. It looks very clean. It makes it look very big. It makes it look like you'd expect a fast food restaurant ceiling to look. Because I don't know how many fast food restaurants I've been to in my lifetime. A lot, honestly, loads. But they never seem to have that much natural light coming in from the roof. So something like this, and I know that this is a really awkward view to look at for the past like couple of minutes that I've been doing it. And this is awkward as well. There we go. I've managed to just go over the seat. But I mean, something like this, it looks fine. It looks good. It's got some nice unnatural light in here now. It looks quite nice. At least I like that. And if you want, you can add some more unnatural light sources. I'm a personal massive fan of redstone lamps. I love them to bits. So maybe like a redstone lamp with maybe like a switch on it, and maybe like, I don't know, like a dark oak wood slab, like a dark oak wood slab on top of it maybe, and like a lever underneath it, and maybe like place a lamp there in that section to just light it up a bit. I don't know, just little things like that really make a difference. And you could even add one in like here. Nah, I wouldn't add one there, but you could add one like here, for instance, or like here. And they could be really inconspicuous if you wanted to, but that's completely up to you. And I've just completely remembered that we don't have any ceilings in here. So it's the same sort of idea for the toilets. I'd follow the same strategy. Like I'd have like a little maybe like, there we go. Yeah, that's good. Just like 2 sea lanterns right in the middle of the roof with some quartz slabs all the way around them. And that'll look great. Usually I wouldn't bother finishing these for just a tutorial, but considering the fact that this Wendys is actually going to be displayed and used in my city world, then I kinda want it looking nice. But there we go, guys. That is the entire inside of your Wendys complete. Now you have a very modern, very cool looking, very interesting looking inside to your Wendys, very functional as well. And that is the entire build, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I'd really appreciate it, honestly, if you could give the video a like and a share. I'd appreciate that no end. It helps me out tremendously, and it really inspires me to make exactly what you guys suggest down there in the comments when you guys love the builds. I'm very proud of this build right here, and I hope that you guys like it as well. I don't typically do interiors, but I wanted to do it because I thought that you guys would really enjoy it. Also, follow me on Twitter. If you do make this, follow me on Twitter at TSMC360. Show me pictures of it, suggest what you'd like to see next, and just chat to me. If you have any pictures or anything that you want me to see of your world or whatever it is, show me on Twitter at TSMC360. Comment down below, what else would you like to see next? It's very important that I know what you guys want to see next. Just let me know down there in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. That is the only way to keep track with this channel, and make sure that you hit that little, it looks like a little bell next to the subscribe button. That'll alert you whenever I upload a video. I'd love it if you could do that as well, because it helps me help you. Also, check out the cards and the description below. Not only do we make like fast food restaurants here, but we make pet shops. That's a fish and chip shop. That's a kind of a British build. We have a train station over here. We have Tesco's, a supermarket. I've shown you how to make all of these and even more. This is just my city. We have some townhouses, Domino's Pizza, barbershop. That's a giant poop. Don't worry about that. That's a cafe. We have this entire part that I've shown you how to make. And this contains just a fraction of my tutorials. I have literally over 1,000 tutorials on this channel, and this is just like 1% of them. So check out the channel, check out the cards, check out the description below. I'm sure that you will find things that you want to see. We're currently working on my little retail park in my city, and I think it's shaping up nicely, and yours could look as nice as this or even better. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please do all of those things. I'd really appreciate it. I just realised I said do, which takes me back to Mr. Pooh that we just saw in front of the cafe. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.